Making moves with Michael. Today's episode or topic is about the 4 types of employees, the 4 types of workers, the 4 types of entrepreneurs, the 4 types of people in the workforce. Okay? And we're gonna go through them very, very quickly today. And you're gonna understand by the end of this video, you're gonna put yourself in one of these boxes and tell yourself, this is where I'm at. This is the kind of person that I am, and you need to strive to be part of the elite box. I'm gonna get to that in a second, okay? There's a lot of people out there that work very, very hard, and I love it, and I respect the fact that you work hard, you work smart, you hustle the muscle, you earn the pillow, you do whatever it takes to grind your behind. But at the end of the day, it's not just about the hustle. Because if you have a manager or a boss or clients or customers, as a business owner, whoever you may be, people look at you and they say, are you high maintenance or are you low maintenance? Not only does your production count, not only does the work that you create count, it also matters on the maintenance side. I'm gonna get to that in a second and explain to you what maintenance may be. Because everybody knows about production. For example, if you get hired to be a videographer, your job is to produce content for the person you're creating videos for. Your job is to edit the videos, your job is to make the videos, your job is to do as much as possible. You want to go all in and give as much content as possible, as much creativity as possible to help your client. And the production counts. But if every single time your client has to call you, has to remind you, has to text you, has to email you, and has to be on top of your ass to get your job done, we call you high maintenance. And there's 4 types of people in this world. Only 4. Hopefully, you're the one that's the beast. Hopefully, you're the elite. Okay? So let's go over some of the types of people. Okay? Low production and high maintenance. This is someone that produces very, very, very little. Sometimes they do a lot of talking and yapping about what they're gonna do, but they have a low production. They have 0 results. They suck. Okay? But they're extremely high maintenance. And we call them Courage the Cowardly Dog for a reason. Because they sound like this most of the time. Muriel! They always complain. They always whine. They always bitch and moan. And they always create reasons and excuses why they can't win or they can't produce. And the weather's not right. It's snowing. It's raining. And all the bullshit that they create in their mind. And they usually go to their managers, their clients, their boss, or whoever, and they start to whine and complain and bitch and moan on a consistent basis. And what your manager or what your client or what your customers are thinking is, we gotta get rid of this person. We don't like him. We hate this kind of person because nobody wants to be around a mope. Okay? So if you're part of this box, we're gonna give you some quick tips on how you can change that. How you can change the way you think so you can get out of that section of being a low performer with super high maintenance. Okay? Now we got a second box. We got a second type of person. We call you low production and low maintenance. These are the people that we call wallflowers. Sometimes they forget about you. Sometimes we forget, as a manager, we may forget about you. We may forget about you and your existence. You don't produce and you don't create as many problems. Sometimes we forget. And you may be sitting there like a wallflower. If you're part of any sales organization and you're sitting there in a corner and you create 0 problems and you create 0 production, sometimes the manager may forget about who you are because you don't create that many distractions and problems for your manager. But what that basically means is you have 0 production, you have no results. And eventually, what will end up happening, you will get cut out of the team. Even though you're not as bad as the guy that has low production and high maintenance, because these people we want to get rid of really, really quick. We want to get rid of those customers. Sometimes you as a business owner, if you own your own business, you want to get rid of those kind of clients. Sometimes you yourself may be the issue and you have a lot of maintenance. You got a lot of work that needs to be done and your people, your customers, your clients, your friends, your family want to get you out. They want to cut you out like a cancer. But when it comes to being a low production and low maintenance, okay, we tend to forget about you. Why? Because you're not creating that much results and you're not creating the headaches. Okay, so what you need to do, we're gonna give you guys a little action steps, how you can get out of that quadrant as well, okay, and get out of that section. The third type of person, okay, is gonna get a little exciting. This is the person that drives you bananas. He is a headache. It is annoying sometimes, but we tolerate him. Maybe you tolerate that customer. Why? Because there's production with that. Maybe you have a big contract with a customer. Maybe you have a big deal and you can't, you don't want to let go of that production. Maybe you don't want to let go of that result and you need that customer. Maybe you need that job or whatever the case may be. Or maybe your manager needs you and he's like, you know what, screw it, I'll deal with the headache. I don't mind dealing with the nonsense. I may get a little angry sometimes, but there is high production that comes out of this person. Usually these are the people we want to coach and mentor a little bit to get them to that low maintenance, okay? I was one of those people that was extremely high in production everywhere I went, and I was extremely high maintenance. As a matter of fact, I'm still high maintenance today. Ask any of my employees, ask any of my workers, ask any of my staff, and we got over 70 people that work with us. I promise you, I'm not the most easiest person to deal with, but the results are there. Now, there's some action steps for guys like me and gals like me that we can get out of this equation as well, because we need to get, we don't want to be in this equation. We don't want to be in this section. You don't want to be in this part. You want to be part of the elite group, okay? You want to be part of the elite group. Now, I didn't put a name over here because I didn't want to embarrass myself, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this. The Michaels of the world. Okay? The crazy people, the ones that create results, the ones that create activity, the ones that hate poverty, the ones that hate the bullshit. They hate the nonsense. They're willing to do whatever they gotta do, but they have a lot of craziness to them. And you may be one of them. And that's okay. But our goal is to get out of this equation, is to get out of there and get to the beast mode, okay? Which everybody loves. You see, a lot of times in this quadrant, people tolerate us. You understand? They tolerate us. Some of the times my employees, they tolerate me because they gotta. They have to. Sometimes I tolerate some of the guys that are working for us because they're creating results. But we don't want to be tolerated. We want to be loved. We want to be appreciated as number one. We want to be looked at as beasts. And that's what this quadrant is about. It's about creating high production, okay? And low maintenance. Which means you want to go hustle the muscle. You want to go 10x like Grant Cardone says. And you want to go 10x your life and 10x your actions and 10x your activity, 10x everything in your life and be number one with zero or close to zero when it comes to maintenance. You don't want to have problems with people. You don't want to have situations with your family and your friends and problems and all kinds of nonsense in your life. You want to be the one that creates a lot of results with as least resistance as possible with your peers and your family and your coworkers and your managers and your clients and your customers and whoever it may be. So my question to you is this, okay? Which quadrant are you a part of? Okay? Usually these guys make a lot of money. These two quadrants make a lot of money because their production is high. But these guys have a lot of issues with a lot of people. Sometimes people don't like them. Sometimes we rub people the wrong way, okay? These guys right here, okay, they have extremely low production. They don't have a lot of money. A lot of times they're living paycheck to paycheck. They have a lot of problems financially. But a lot of times, they don't have friends either. Because nobody wants to be around a mope. Nobody wants to be around someone that's complaining and whining and moaning and bitching. If you have a lot of friends that don't want to be around you, there's probably you're in this quadrant. Or maybe this quadrant. Because you got a lot of maintenance. Okay? But if you're in this quadrant right here, okay, you have a lot of hope. You have a lot of hope. You can change. You can change the way you think and kind of switch over to this side. It's very easy to go from low production, low maintenance, to high production and low maintenance, okay? But for guys like me who are a little bit crazy, it is extremely difficult to go from high production, high maintenance to high production, low maintenance. It's a challenge. We got to change ourselves, and it's years and years and years of work, years and years of changing your mentality. And for these guys, my friends, they have a lot of work to do. And you have a lot of work to do. And that's where you got to get into the books, the audios, the CDs, and change your mindset. Because not only do you have to change your maintenance level, and then you need to attract people to you, not repel them, but you also have to learn how to make some money and how to create some results at your job. Whether you're a waiter, whether you're a chiropractor, whether you're a doctor, it don't matter. You still got to get good at that job. Otherwise, you'll get fired and you'll be hopping around like a kangaroo from job to job to job. Does that make sense? So let's talk about some of the action steps you can do to get out of the quadrants to be here. If you have low production and high maintenance, okay? If you have a low production and high maintenance, your first objective, okay, is to realize that you have hope a little bit. And it's gonna be some work. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna be a lot of extra work. It's gonna be a lot of late nights, a lot of pain. Your body's gonna get cut open and God's gonna spray some salt on you and you're gonna have to close yourself back up and go through the pain and change yourself a little bit, okay? It's gonna be a lot of pressure. It's gonna be a lot of stretching in that process of you becoming the better individual you need to be because you wanna get yourself to low maintenance. And as well, at the same time, you have to also study and learn and master your craft. And sometimes when your friend calls you and say, hey, let's go hang out, you're gonna say, listen, I gotta go study for my job. I gotta go study for my work. Whether you're a masseuse, whether you're a gym trainer, it don't matter. You gotta master your craft and get really good at it. And you're gonna start to shift in this direction. So the first 2-3 things you need to do is number one, start to self-analyze yourself. Let's say, what are some key attributes that I have that are holding me back from creating results? Or list some of the things that you're not good at and start to work on those things and say, okay, how do I stop being annoying? How do I stop interrupting my boss? How do I stop being angry in front of my coworkers? How do I stop fighting? How do I stop doing this? How do I stop drinking alcohol when I go to work and my boss has to talk to me all the time about it, right? So you gotta work on that, on the personal development a lot, and you gotta learn about a job. So you gotta get really good at your job, because I promise you, in this quadrant, you're gonna lose your job if you don't do things right. Because they have no reason to keep you there. You have zero reason to be at that location or be at that job because the manager, the boss, or your client or customer have no reason to keep you because you're not producing the results and you're a problem and you're a headache, all right? So there's a lot of work to do here, all right? Action step for those that have a low production, low maintenance, my wallflowers, okay? If you're a wallflower, it's okay, no big deal, no problem, okay? You're actually in a great position. All you gotta do is study. Study how to increase your sales if you're in sales, how to increase your installs if you're a technician, how to get good at waitering and serving customers more, how to get good at maybe talking to customers. If you're a psychiatrist, maybe you need to help your clients a little better instead of shoving some medication up their mouth. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get good at your game. If you're a doctor, make sure you do the surgeries right. Learn, do what you gotta do, study, educate yourself. And you'll learn so much that it'll eventually put you in the high production because you're gonna get really freaking good. And when you get really good, people wanna pay you the big bucks, okay? Now, very simple process for the wallflowers. As a matter of fact, wallflowers have one of the best positions in the world because they have the easiest way to become really good, okay? Now, for those of you that are Michaels, the crazy, the jungle monkeys, the wild animals, okay? You may have a lot of production and you have a lot of maintenance to the point where people want to choke you and throw you out the window. I'll give you guys a story. At 19 years old, I started my online business and my coach brought me into a room with like 10, 15 business owners. And every single one of those business owners at that time, they had their online business and everything, they wanted to choke me and throw me out the window. I was so annoying. I was all over the room. I was so energetic. Like, who is this guy on Sunday night, 9 p.m., jumping off the walls? And they told my mentor at the time, they wanted to kill me and throw me out of the room and they said, don't ever bring this guy in our house ever again. But guess what? I had to do a lot of changing. Guys over here, it's one of the toughest things. We got to change our mindset. We got to change we got to change a lot of things. We have it as tough as these guys because we got to change our mentality. Everything. And the other thing that's hard for us is that since so many things come to us very easy because we're so good at creating production very quickly, when you're so good at creating production, what ends up happening is you think life is easy. And you gotta train your mind to get really good at what? Toughen up. You gotta toughen up and start doing things what? The right way, not looking for the shortcuts. Because looking for the shortcuts like a snake ain't gonna get you there, okay? So you gotta do a lot of work here, a lot of work, okay? It's very important you pay attention to these guys. These guys can be one of your best, greatest assets. Somebody didn't give up on me, and guess what? I'm creating now a lot of value into a lot of other people's lives because somebody didn't give up on me. Don't give up on these guys, okay? It's very important. And if you're one of them, pay attention on how you can change yourself, all right? High production and low maintenance. These are the beast modes, man. All I can say to you is this. Keep pouring fire on that gas. Take freaking gas and pour it on that fire. Don't stop. Mix it up, baby. Let's go. Let's create some flammable stuff. You want to keep going on fire. Momentum is your best friend. Do not stop. Don't. Because the second you stop, you'll end up in one of these other quadrants and you don't want to be there. Okay? Keep doing what you're doing. Keep hustling. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. Keep shoving. And I promise you, you're going to be making moves with Michael. All right? So have a good one. Okay, enjoy. Hopefully you can decide which one you choose to be. It's okay to be in one of these quadrants right now. It's all Gucci. You gotta decide Where do you want to be? Do you want to make the money? You want to be the beast? Do you want to be the crazy Michael, the old version of Michael? Or do you want to be a wallflower? Or do you want to be courage, the cowardly dog? It's very important. You decide for your life. So what we're going to do right now is very simple, okay? I want you guys to go earn your pillow. Go hustle the muscle. If you're part of this movement that we call Making Moves with Michael, you want to start earning your pillow. Earning your pillow is the way to go. And if you earn your pillow, and we're going to make another video just so you guys understand what that basically means, you will get one of these pillows. Have a good one.